If you are a senior planning to travel in 2026, there's one urgent point I need to share with you right now. The familiar rules you've relied on for years will no longer suffice. New passport and travel policies launching in February 2026 are so strict that even seasoned travelers are being turned away at airports despite having valid tickets. Picture arriving early at security, bags ready, loved ones waiting on the other side, only to be told you cannot board because of a regulation you never knew existed. That scenario is about to become far more common. Starting this year, airports, airlines, and immigration systems are moving to fully automated enforcement. No verbal clarifications, no exceptions, no last-minute fixes at the counter. If a single requirement is missing, the system will instantly block you. The hardest part? Many of these changes disproportionately affect older travelers who have flown the same way for decades. What worked in 2024 or 2025 could now lead to extra fees, long delays, or even total denial of travel. Some will be first to pay new charges just to pass through security. Others might be stopped from boarding before reaching the gate. International trips that once seemed simple will now require digital approvals days in advance. These are not hypothetical warnings, they are finalized policies going live in February 2026. The goal of this video is straightforward and personal. I want to make sure you never face the frustration, embarrassment, or financial hit of being denied a carefully planned trip. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through every major change affecting seniors, outline exactly which documents you need, and highlight how to avoid the most common pitfalls. By the end, you will know exactly how to travel in 2026 without stress, confusion, or unwelcome surprises. There is one particular new rule that could quietly cost you $90 on a round-trip flight if you aren't prepared. I'll explain that shortly. Hi, I'm Sophia. My focus is on breaking down complex travel and policy updates so everyday people, especially seniors, can navigate them confidently. Air travel is evolving faster than ever, and my mission is to ensure you never feel lost in the process. Today, I'll guide you through the most significant updates taking effect in February 2026, covering new reported enforcement, digital authorizations for international trips, airline policy changes, and hidden traps that can ensnare even the most careful traveler. Think of this as your personal guide to navigating the new era of travel. Let's start with the change that will affect more American seniors than anything else this year, the new domestic airported rules. Beginning February 1st, 2026, the way you move through airport security in the United States will shift dramatically. Travelers have long heard of the real-age requirement, but rarely experienced its full impact. Even after official deadlines, many airports still allowed older, non-compliant driver's licenses. TSA officers often conducted manual checks and waved people through with minimal fuss. That era of leniency is over. In 2026, these rules are no longer optional, they are enforced by systems. Arrive without a real ID-compliant license, a valid U.S. passport, or another federally approved ID, and you will not just be warned, you'll face a $45 verification fee that must be paid on the spot to continue through security. This isn't a deposit. It's non-refundable, and it only covers one 0-day verification window. After that, the process must be repeated. Many seniors will be caught completely off guard. Imagine living in Michigan and flying to Arizona to visit family for 2 weeks. You show up with an old standard driver's license, not realizing it's non-compliant. TSA lets you through after paying $45. You enjoy your stay, but when you head home, your 0-day verification window has expired. That means another $45 to return, turning a simple round trip into an extra $90 just for using the wrong ID. And the fee is only part of the problem. Travelers paying it enter a separate verification process that can add 20 to 40 minutes at the airport. During busy seasons, this can lead to missed flights and unnecessary stress. The easiest solution: if you don't yet have a real ID, carry your U.S. passport on all domestic flights. It is accepted at every U.S. airport and bypasses the new fee and extra screening. Many seniors assume passports are only for international trips, but in 2026, they become one of your most valuable travel tools. Another option is upgrading your state driver's license to real ID compliance through your local DMV, much cheaper than repeated airport fees. TSA's message is clear. The days of explaining your way through security are over. Your documents now speak for you, and if they're incorrect, the system won't bend. This single change will surprise millions, especially older Americans who've relied on the same aid for years. Domestic travel is just the beginning. For international trips, the rules are even stricter. Systems are being redesigned to eliminate human judgment almost entirely. Decisions about boarding are increasingly made by computers long before you reach the airport. Next, I'll cover these international chain guests are just as important as real and sometimes even stricter. Before we move on, a quick note. If this information is helping you understand new travel rules, consider subscribing to stay updated. Policies are changing quickly in 2026, and my goal is to keep you informed and simple, senior-friendly language so you're never surprised at the airport. One of the biggest upcoming changes affects travelers to the United Kingdom and is already causing problems for the unprepared. If your 2026 plans include England, Scotland, Wales, or even a short layover, you need to know about the UK Electronic Travel Authorization, or ETA. Starting February 25, 2026, it becomes mandatory for nearly all American travelers. Previously, U.S. citizens could book a flight, show a valid passport, and board with no extra steps. That simplicity is gone. Now, a passport alone is enough. You must have an approved digital ETA linked to your passport before boarding. The system began earlier with a grace period, but that officially ends in February 2026. After that, airline computers will automatically verify ETA approval when issuing boarding passes. Without it, the airline cannot print your pass, even if the UK isn't your final destination. For instance, flying from the US to Italy with a London connection still requires an approved ETA. Many seniors assume this can be handled at the airport or last-minute type cannot. The ETA must be completed in advance via the official UK government app with a small application fee. Approvals are often quick but not instant, and waiting too long risks being denied boarding. Travel agents or airlines will not complete this step for you. The responsibility falls entirely on the traveler. This illustrates a broader shift in 2026. International travel is moving from human flexibility to strict digital compliance. No authorization means no boarding, no exceptions, and no refunds. The safest approach is applying for the ETA as soon as travel plans are confirmed. Treat it like an essential part of your ticket, just like your passport. Next, continental Europe is also seeing major changes. In early 2026, the EU is moving closer to implementing a biometric entry-exit system. American travelers have long handed passports to officers for stamps. That process is being replaced by automated kiosks and digital tracking. On arrival, machines will collect facial scans and fingerprints before admitting travelers. Younger travelers may see this as minor, but many seniors find it stressful. Kiosks require precise positioning, clear fingerprints, and attention to instructions. Errors can lead to delays or extra screening. The bigger change is behind the scenes. The system automatically records exact entry and exit dates. Overstays, even by a day, will no longer be overlooked. Previously, minor errors could be forgiven. Now, computers enforce rules with no leniency. Seniors spending extended periods abroad must be vigilant. Confusion also surrounds the upcoming DS requirement. Some websites wrongly claim seniors must apply immediately. EDS launches later in 2026, and travelers over 70 are exempt from the fee but still need to complete the form. Websites asking for early payment before launch should be treated cautiously. Scams often target older travelers under new rules. The TOKIWay international travel in 2026 is governed by interconnected databases checking documents, authorizations, and travel history. By the time you reach the airport, your eligibility to fly may already be decided. Preparation must happen days or weeks in advance. Showing up early and hoping is no longer reliable. Airlines are also updating policies that affect seniors, including booking mobility devices and refunds. Beyond passports and border controls, 2026 brings some of the most significant airline changes in decades. Southwest Airlines, trusted for years for simple, flexible service, ends its open seating policy on January 27, 2026. Boarding will now assign seats like most major carriers. This may seem organized, but seniors should note trade-offs. Premium seats and extra legroom seats near the front may come with additional costs important for those wanting to reduce walking. Families may face higher costs to sit together. Previously, passengers purchasing extra seats for comfort or medical needs could often receive a refund. Starting in 2026, that's no longer guaranteed if flights are full. Financial responsibility shifts to travelers, making early planning critical. A safety-related rule starting January 11, 2026 affects seniors with mobility scooters or medical devices. Federal regulations limit lithium-ion batteries to 300 Wh. Many heavy-duty or long-range devices exceed this. Seniors could arrive only to discover essential equipment cannot fly. Check battery specifications ahead of time and contact manufacturers for approved alternatives. Rules are strict and enforced rigorously. Southwest is not alone. Airlines are tightening seating, baggage, and boarding policies. The trend is away from flexible, customer-friendly systems toward advanced planning, digital compliance, and strict rules. Well-prepared travelers can still enjoy smooth flights, but reliance on old habits in 2026 may result in expensive surprises. You might wonder if any of these changes benefit travelers. Fortunately, 2026 also brings stronger passenger protections. New federal regulations enforce automatic cash refunds for delayed flights. Domestic flights delayed over 3 hours now qualify for full refunds if you opt not to travel. International flights over 6 hours are eligible. Past practices pressuring passengers into vouchers or credits are no longer allowed unless you consent. Seniors on fixed budgets gain real financial security. There are also protections for passengers with disabilities. If a replacement plane lacks accessible features, you may qualify for a refund even if the flight is on time. These rules restore control and dignity to older and disabled travelers. Passport processing is improving too. The State Department expands online renewal in 2026, allowing digital photos and payments without visiting post offices. First-time applicants or long-expired passports still require in-person processing. Remember, many countries demand passports valid at least 6 months beyond your travel date. Even unexpired passports can be denied overseas if they don't meet this standard. In summary, 2026 enforces stricter systems but also offers new rights and conveniences. Understanding both sides' rigid enforcement and stronger protections is key. The next section brings everything together into a practical checklist for seniors, ensuring travel this year with confidence and no surprises. Before we finalize, if this content has made you feel more prepared, consider staying connected. Rules will continue evolving, and sharing this knowledge can prevent stressful or costly mistakes for friends and family. Now, let's translate all these updates into a clear, actionable plan. With numerous new policies, the smartest approach is a personal travel checklist. Preparation in 2026 is about controlling every detail, not luck. Step 1. Confirm your identification. Check your driver's license for real compliance. If it lacks the federal marking, upgrade promptly. If that's difficult, carry your U.S. passport for domestic flights. It prevents fees, delays, and headaches. Step 2. Review international travel. Trips involving the U.K. require applying for the electronic travel authorization well in advance. Never assume airlines will handle it. Confirm it is linked to your passport. Step 3. Europe requires careful attention to allowed stay durations. Mark dates on a calendar. Biometric systems enforce limits, leaving no room for error. Step 4. Examine airline policies before every trip. Southwest open seating is gone. Choose seats wisely for comfort and mobility needs. Additional seats for medical reasons may not be refunded. Budget accordingly. Step 5. Verify mobility device battery limits in advance. Research watt ratings and contact airlines if unsure. This prevents airport mishaps. Step 6. Stay organized with documentation. Print reservations, authorizations, and insurance info, even if stored digitally. Backups provide confidence and control. Step 7. Arrive earlier than usual, especially during the first month of these rules. Extra time reduces stress in increasingly automated and inflexible environments. Finally, understand your passenger rights. If flights are delayed, canceled, or altered, new protections ensure refunds, accessibility, compliance, and financial security. Following this checklist will make traveling in 2026 smooth, predictable, and safe.